Warning. The media that is about to play will contain graphic and foul language, but is intended to be entertaining, at least to some. The opinions shared here may not be shared by everyone, and may even be just for laughs. If you are easily offended, don't have a sense of humor, have your head up your ass, love patting yourself on the back, or don't even attempt to be a good person, this isn't for you. Everyone else, please try to have fun. And as always, stay creative.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bryan SilverBax Show. I am Bryan SilverBax, and with me, as always, is the Chewbacca to my Han Solo, JR.
Always a surprise. Always.
Yeah, I put
surprise.
I put a little thought into that one.
And nobody ever sees at home, and I see every time we do this. Every time Bryan introduces the show, hey, everybody, his hands are wide open.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, he's got jazz hands, okay? So he's like, hey. So if you can picture this, every single time he introduces the show, he is introducing you physically, even though you can't see it.
Yeah, one day we'll figure out how to put in the
video.
The video element. I'll figure out what I've really been looking for, and you know what? Let's just get into it. So on this episode of the Bryan SilverBax Show, we are just going to be shooting the shit. Talking about stuff that we've done over, just stuff that we want to talk about. So stick around. All right, now we can talk about it. I've been looking at trying to get some sort of way to have the output from this microphone hub that we have our mics plugged into, have that also plug into my phone so that when I'm streaming live, like I could go Facebook Live right now, but it would be using the speaker on the phone. So the quality of our voices are usually not that good.
I was afraid this was going to be a technical issues episode.
No. But I looked into it, and I think I saw some stuff. I just couldn't pull the trigger because I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it'll work, and I haven't done a whole lot of research into it.
I have a great face for audible radio.
All right, well,
I have a great face for
we'll put the camera
radio.
behind your head. It'll be like those Dateline interviews.
I want a fence, like Home Improvement.
Oh,
I want to look over and see the fence.
Yeah, but I mean, we could put a filter on. We could put the filter on there that makes your face look like someone smeared Vaseline all over it, and your eyes look beautiful.
Yeah, Vaseline is what people will think.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Sure.
No, but I'm saying you're not as super active on Facebook, but there's a popular filter with the ladies where
I'm not even slowly or barely active on Facebook. Barely active is like active for me.
I need to find a co-host that's actually going to be active on social media and try to fucking do things.
Look, I make you look good. I make you look good.
It doesn't take much.
It
doesn't take much.
Okay.
But so that are you a Verizon customer?
I am not.
Oh, that stinks for you.
I'm a T-Mobile, or is it SHI T-Mobile? No, sometimes I
don't
wonder
know.
what kind of mobile I am.
Once I got Verizon, I've probably been a Verizon wireless customer for probably about 12 or 13 years now. Mm-hmm. So I stay with Verizon. I have good service. But one of the new benefits to Verizon Unlimited is 1 year free Disney Plus.
Oh, I saw the lineup for that. Yeah,
I got Disney Plus, sir.
Yeah,
because I'm a Verizon guy.
Some badass stuff. You got some badass stuff coming your way.
So I loaded it up, and there is so much content. You know what I started watching?
500 movies so far.
I started watching Willow last night. But it's not just that. It's stuff that you wouldn't expect. I didn't know that National Geographic was a part of it. So there's a lot of National Geographic stuff, like the old documentaries and stuff like that.
So you like to watch old documentaries?
I'm just saying it's there. If you want to, I'm really a big fan of what Netflix. No. I do like the ones that Netflix has, like Blue Planet.
Oh yeah,
the David Attenborough stuff.
Yeah.
I really do.
You're not looking at the ones like about the dung beetle or anything like that.
I would. I don't care. That shit's awesome.
It is fascinating. That's what I bring that up because I saw that episode and it is actually very good.
I watched all of them.
Bugs and shit. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, if it's got shit, you got my attention. But so with that, they've got most of the Star Wars stuff there. Like I didn't see.
Yeah, that's expected.
I didn't see the last one. The one that everybody hated.
Jedi? Oh, The Last Jedi?
Yeah. So that's not there yet. I'm sure it will be, but it's probably got to run its time on Netflix before it can find its home here. Yeah. But so they've released a New Hope. There's another version of New Hope, and they've You remember
yet another version?
Not a complete version.
See, I called New Hope Star Wars, right?
Though that's what it was.
The next one I call Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Okay,
and then they were like, "Oh man, let's make this part of some bigger shit."
This is episode 4. Let's make it episode 4. I'm like, wait, what?
All right, so
let's go back to 76. What did I miss?
It's mainly the version that I've seen, and this is not a whole bunch of research, but it's it's making its way around the internet. The scuttlebutt is so it does have all the old all the CG stuff that Lucas threw in there for his supercuts,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
But now they've fucked with the who shot first scene again. Oh my god! And they add and from what I understand, all they did was add a word.
Hey,
McClunky.
What?
McClunky. So you watch it, right? And everything is, you can turn the subtitles on, and then, or Greedo's got the subtitles on, beep, 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 and then it shows them. Yeah. And then so they both, and then Greedo says a word, McClunky, and there's no subtitles. And that's not in any other version of it.
So fucked up.
So they've added the word McClunky right before they both shoot at the exact same time.
And to be fair, the whole Han shot first thing is incorrect.
The truth.
It's incorrect, actually. Han shot
only. Yeah.
All right, there was no shot first. Like, he shot me first, I shot back and killed Greedo, and there's no we shot at the same time. Han shot him.
Yeah.
Han murdered Greedo. Yeah. All the Greedoans are like,
and it's weird that the reason that they so-called fixed that problem is they wanted him to come off as a more endearing character, so he doesn't look like a straight murderer. I guess
that's PC Nation talking. Because
speaking of PC Nation, cool. We're going to come back. We're going to circle back to that.
All right, we'll fly
back. I wish you had the network. Maybe before you leave, I don't know what you got scheduled for today, but we can watch 30 minutes of that Mandalorian episode.
Don't. No. I can't watch.
Why?
Because I want to binge it.
Oh, well, shit, man. Come on, dude. The first episode, you got to, like, dude, all right, so.
It looks so good.
It's right there on the TV, right there, buddy. And so I watched it, and this character's killing folks without the blood. Like, he's very, very PG-13. Like, he's a bounty hunter.
Star Wars didn't have any blood either. It was
no. But it's the main character who's killing folks, but yet we have a problem with Han Solo.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I'm sorry, Darth fucking Vader.
Well, he's the bad guy.
Yeah, though. but still, they redeem him in how many things. I mean, you should not be afraid to. Yeah. Han's always been an anti-hero. Okay, he's our Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry. He's our your John
Deadpool.
Wayne. He's our of course he's our Deadpool. These are the things that we find endearing. No one ever takes Mal Reynolds and goes, "Oh, he didn't shove that guy in the airplane."
And I don't know, but so that. McClunky is the new thing. So just if you hear it in passing or someone says it to you, you will be in the know.
I think they should do like Lethal Weapon, and if they're going to put anything at all, if they're going to go that far, then just go, "Hey Mo."
Oh, John, speaking of Lethal Weapon, on Netflix they had Loaded Weapon 1.
Oh, no.
And I rewatched it fully. Who knew? If you go back and watch Loaded Weapon, National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, there are so many famous people in that movie.
Sam Jackson, first of all.
Well, he's the main. Yeah,
he's the main Murtaugh.
Like, just in cameos, like Bruce Willis is in it playing Die Hard. It was so fun to watch that, and
so it holds up.
And remember,
okay,
it holds up like a spoof movie's supposed to.
Like you expected to. Okay, all right. Among spoof films, it holds
up. Yeah, exactly.
I gotcha.
So that was pretty interesting. But so the Disney Plus network, you could, if you have a Verizon Wireless unlimited plan, you can go to the Verizon page and follow the steps there.
Okay.
Just for anyone that may be listening that also has that, because I really wanted to explore the network, but I didn't want another service to pay for.
Yeah.
Even though it's only $7 a month.
That's actually half as much as Netflix.
Yeah, but I'm already paying Netflix. Yeah. And I've already got the super cool Watch Anything You Want Fire Stick that's been hacked up.
There you go. That's true.
So, but it's really cool. There's a lot of stuff on the Disney Plus that I like. all the old cartoons from. I didn't even know that the Silver
very
Surfer.
few of the Pixar's. There's very few of them because there's a rights dispute. For
I didn't
Pixar stuff.
Well, I was just looking for more comic book stuff. The other like, it's tough. I clicked on action movies to pull up like the list of action movies, and it's a lot of fun. Dude, the 101 Dalmatians.
No.
I want can I put the adult filter on? Like,
You're dealing with the fact that it's the Disney Channel. There will be no adult content.
Well, no, like more grown-up
PG
shit.
might as well be R. You're dealing with GG.
But so I didn't realize they've got all the old X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men Evolution. Yeah. But and all the different versions of the Spider-Man cartoon that have come out in the past.
The 66 and.
But what about? I didn't know that Silver Surfer had a damn cartoon.
Yeah. So
I did not realize it. So the whole series is on there.
Hulk has had 3 or 4 series. She-Hulk had one in the 70s too.
The old Spider-Man and Super Friends, or Spider-Man and Friends.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah, that's on there.
And then there was the Adventures of Spider-Man, which those were both in the 80s. They kind of took turns using Iceman and all that crap.
So there's all kinds of cool stuff on there, man. Darkwing Duck is on there.
Yeah, I expected that.
But yeah, it's Disney.
But
I'm saying
great.
It's so much stuff to like. Ooh, and here's one thing that I like about that Disney Plus is doing that Netflix doesn't do or hasn't done. If you click on a movie, you can, and takes you to the movie screen, you can click play, and then there's a tab for suggestions. So based on this movie, we suggest you may like these other ones, and it'll pop like 9 titles up.
So if you like X-Men Evolution will pop up.
Yeah. But there's also a thing for extras, so it puts the bonus content shit on there. So if I like the movie, I click on extras, it's already there. So much like, I don't know if you use Vudu, but Vudu, when you watch a movie on Vudu, you can click on Vudu extras and it's all the bonus content.
Yeah, which is usually what's missing on most streaming services.
Yeah, and Netflix doesn't have that.
That's right.
But Disney Plus has not that they've loaded it for every movie, but it is there, and I've seen some bonus shit on some other films.
It's funny. I was just looking at Netflix last night. I'm just it's been a while since I've been home, so I was looking at what's up on Netflix and see the new Breaking Bad side shoot movie.
El Camino.
El Camino.
I watched that.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I noticed that they also list bonus content. Like Netflix is starting to show like small featurettes,
but it's
as a separate
entry into the system,
right?
So you have to, and
they haven't done that before though. Like they haven't done making of featurettes on any of these things.
And I did watch that too, and it wasn't as cool as I wanted it to be. It's basically every actor that's in El Camino talking about how good it is to be back and seeing everybody.
You knew they were going to suck that dick.
That's it. It's like 12 minutes of, it really feels like we never left. I just can't believe we're doing this again.
That means please watch it. We have residuals to pay for.
Yeah. If Vince Gilligan calls, I'm going to come running. Like 12 minutes of that.
Yeah.
God.
Well, I'm hoping it's a sign of things to come.
Did you like Breaking Bad, the series?
I loved it. It was the only series that made me shit myself every week because I was so nervous for everything to happen, but I couldn't look away. It was like a train wreck.
Yeah.
But it was also the show that it got me so worked up physically, I couldn't watch it until Friday nights or Saturday nights. If I was going to work the next day, could not.
So you watched it episodically? You didn't binge it?
Yeah, I did.
Because I
watched it live.
I didn't find it till it was already like the last season, so I got to binge it. And when I was watching,
could you do that? Because that's a heart attack inducing show.
Well, it was so okay, but so I was watching it, and how the episodes ended. Always, I was like, if I was watching this live, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
That I have to wait a
whole fucking week. Yeah.
To see what's going to happen.
Sucked. And you had to watch it soon because people gave shit away. Oh, I can't believe you let her die.
Spoilers on the internet.
Oh, big fucking time.
Yeah. And so, like, with Game of Thrones, I didn't hop on Game of Thrones until season 3. So I got to binge watch the first 3 seasons. But then I kept up with it, and then, like, I just rewatched Game of Thrones the whole way through with my wife.
Okay.
And we got to watch as many as we wanted. And I was like, it got to the point where season 7 was done. And I was like, well, now you got to wait a year and a half, babe, before I can show you.
Yeah.
And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, that's how long I had to fucking wait.
Yeah.
You get the next thing.
Netflix has spoiled us for waiting.
Well, Netflix is going away from that too. All right, I watched this. There's a show on Netflix called Explained, and it's about 30-minute little documentaries on a semi-deep dive on whatever the topic is. Like this week's episode is the future of meat. Like there's more people than there's meat, and then
that's right. I've seen that.
So but they've throttled that. So every Thursday, I think it is, they release an episode, and then they have the calendar. It says the next episode is here
on this, like a normal streaming service. Do they keep once the older episodes have aired? Do they still keep them in the queue so you can binge it if you want?
Yes, you put the title in the queue. Okay. So the title is Explained.
Yeah,
that's the name of it. And then when you click on that, then all the episodes pop up. And
to that point.
No, all of them. You can see the title of the ones that are coming out, but it'll have like a special marker on it and said not available until.
Because what cable used to do is by the time, if you were going to wait to watch something, say like a Ray Donovan or something, by the time the last episode aired, the first 3 episodes were gone.
Oh,
yeah, they're
like if you were
rat fuckers. Yeah, Preacher happened to that because I was halfway through Preacher, and I wanted to wait, and then by the time the last episode came, the first half was gone. I'm like, oh shit, because I hadn't seen the middle part. I'm like, oh shit,
that sucks.
Rat bastards.
Yeah, my wife, the way she watches the 100, and she watches it week to week, like when it's out. But then as soon as it's done, I think somehow Netflix drops them all, like, but you have to wait for the whole thing or something. Okay. It's weird, but it's getting out of.
Well, that's why I buy a lot of shows that I like. If I just like it, I just buy it.
Well, look at you.
Well,
I thought over here scrounging.
You know me, I'm a hateful man. I don't like a whole lot of shit.
Oh, I guess that does kind of limit the amount. I'm a hateful man.
So what's that, 2 shows a year? So, fuck me.
All right. But so circling back to the PC thing.
Okay, yeah, which I detest.
Dude, I think it's going to be the downfall of the American society, if not society in general.
Look at all the bullshit we have to do now. Bullshit.
So this week's South Park episode. Have you been keeping up with South Park in the past couple of years?
I have not. I quit at about season 7 because the writing was getting really piss poor.
All right. Well, it's
and I stopped improved. And then it got really good and around season 9, I guess. And now they're like at 23.
I don't even know what season we're on, but I know for the past 3 years, very topical. But to kind of condense it, there's a new principal at school, and his name is PC Principal.
Okay.
And he is talking about microaggressions and all this shit. So he's that voice on the show.
Awesome.
Well, he's married to a strong woman. That's the name of the character. Strong woman.
Fantastic.
All about woman rights and all that stuff. So, in this last episode that I just watched, strong woman is about to enter it was called PC Babies.
Okay.
And they have 5 kids, and the kids they start crying whenever something's around them that isn't PC. So they were like watching the television.
Oh, God.
And it was upsetting them because it was some news or whatever. And then they switched it over to Anderson Cooper, and then they stopped crying because it was all PC. So it was something to that effect. So it's hilarious. It's fantastic. A hilarious setup.
I love those guys.
It's the babies represent all the PC culture in America.
Yeah, the whiny pussy babies.
All the whiny pussy babies. Yeah. And then we got to keep them content. Yeah. So it's hilarious. So here's the PC part. Here's what was funny about this episode. So strong woman is about to enter this like decathlon strong woman contest, multiple events and all this stuff to see. Well, there's this new contender, and they're like, hey, have you met this new contender, Heather Swanson, who's going to be, that's going to be your strongest competition. And she's like, oh, I'm strong woman, blah, blah, blah. I got this licked. And then, so there's introduce you to your opponent since you've never met. And Heather comes in, and it is fucking basically Macho Man Randy Savage. Full on beard, sunglasses, and he talks like, oh yeah, it's God. Heather in the house. and doing this, and she's like, Like, well, what are you doing here? He's like, I just started identifying as a woman 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm going to kick all your asses.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so the whole show is basically female, male, macho man whipping the floor. And then since they're PC, they're like, well, we can't say anything because you're identifying, and that goes against everything we're fucking saying. And it's hilarious. You got to watch it. And then and you know, there's always like two stories. So this one, the other kids are in South Park, and they have an all boys Dungeons and Dragons team, and then girls come in and play and start beating them. And so that's how you get so there's two little stories about, we should all be the same, and no, we're not all born the same. We're not. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to watch, knowing that this is real people.
It's too bad too, because, you know, first of all, I love Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I think,
they've got it.
They're like the Bruce Springsteen, which I'll circle back to him around. They're like the Bruce Springsteens of comedy, right? They can shine a light on our foibles.
I'm curious how we're going to come back to Bruce Springsteen.
It's going to be, it's awesome. But I love the fact that those guys can make us look at ourselves and we can go, yeah, we're kind of idiots.
I think only the smart ones will get it. Like
let's be honest. People who are PC pussies aren't watching South Park.
Oh, no, not unless they want to be triggered.
No, exactly. No, yeah, oh my God, don't even bring up Jesus.
Yeah, so
but I love that because we're losing.
That's the direction that South Park is going, and there's, you know, this whole season has been
theme
about
right now. Yeah.
Well, PC Principal has been around for a couple of seasons now, so they knew that they needed to introduce a character to help touch on those issues. But this season has mostly focused on Randy Marsh opening a pot farm in Colorado. Oh, God. And he goes to Tegrity Farms. There's Tegrity weed, man. There's Tegrity. So that's hilarious. So I highly recommend that if you get a chance to check out some of the newer South Park stuff, because it's hilarious.
I'll be honest with you. I think concerning the subject matter of like being PC and things like that, I adore all the differences of people. I like the fact that men can do certain things that women can't, and women can do certain things that men can't. I love it when we can come together and do things together, but I love celebrating all of our differences. Even among men, the differences of tall versus small, and you know, just the things that we can do make us individuals. We are not all the same. We are not all equal in the
I don't want to get too preachy.
I'm not getting preachy either. I'm just saying, like, I enjoy our differences.
Yeah.
From our freakdom to our non-freakdom. You know, and I think unfortunately what PC Nation is doing is it's erasing a lot of our individuality.
Yeah. And it's making it
and my ability to say fuck.
Oh no, I don't know. It hurts to know that that's what we've boiled this down to. But tell me how this comes back to Bruce Springsteen.
Well, I'll make one more note before we get off the subject.
All right.
I just got an email last night from YouTube. Okay. I don't know if you've got this or not. An email from YouTube.
This is their content creators.
Yeah, the CCOP, all right?
What is that?
Oh, it's some bullshit Children's Act. Anyway, YouTube, in order to protect children from some of the content that was being put on YouTube, because let's be honest, anybody can put anything on YouTube, all right? You know, I mean, nudity slips by and they try to get by sometimes, but, like, look, if you were to look up an interview with a serial killer, rapist, it's there, you know? So what they're trying to do is make it to where kids can't see that stuff. That stuff is not available to them. So every YouTube creator, user, programmer, with new content as well as their backlog catalog is required now to post whether or not their channel or videos individually are okay for children. Are they, actually, in fact, what they say is, are these made for children? So I have some content that was specifically made for kids. Snobbies, scary tales, things like that. I have other things that are okay for children, you know. But I have actually opted for my entire channel to not be okay for children because I guess
I need to read my emails because I just keep circling past it.
Yeah, next time you try to upload content, there's going to be a section that will say,
"Oh, these are supposed to automatically upload," so I don't know what's going to happen here.
You'll probably be required to put it in a setting.
All right,
but the good thing about that is that I prefer parents to be able to monitor what kids are
that's
doing.
their job.
I'm taking my entire channel and saying like, no, this content is not made for children. So that way, if a parent wants to show the kids the Snobbies thing, it is their choice, and that way they can undo the parent button. Because if I had a kid, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want them to be exposed to some of the things that I enjoy as an adult, that I've earned to enjoy as an adult. But I just wanted to let everybody know out there that if you are a YouTube channel
content creator,
exactly, you are now going to be required very, very, very soon, if not already, to mark whether or not your entire channel or specific videos are made for children.
Yeah,
and I say fuck no.
I usually just click not family friendly. Then I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, the freedom of being able to talk to you right now on this podcast means that we can talk like dudes. All right, I will never speak this way in front of people, children. I'm going to Magic City. I'm going to be at a booth. I'm not going to speak this way.
I throttle it. Like I'm going to be.
Yeah, you throttle a lot.
I will feel the situation out.
Yeah. Okay.
My mom gets very offended when I go to, like, let's say we're going to get tires done or whatever, and I'm driving her up there to drop her car off, and we get to talking. And sometimes she doesn't quite know how to use the words to tell what she's trying to get done. And I'll be like, oh, man, it's making this fucking sound, blah, 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 right here. And for me, when I say stuff like that, I feel that I'm putting the other person at ease, and they can let their guard down a little bit and see, all right, I'm dealing with someone who's not uptight. They're not going to try to. So when I do that, I do it a lot with waitresses and wait staff at restaurants. Hey, I'm not the guy on Yelp. Don't worry about it. So I do that.
I'm not going to bust you if you drop an F-bomb by mistake.
Yeah. So I want people to put their guard down. So I don't just walk around, fuckity, fuck. Right. But I will do that to just let people know, hey, relax, loosen your butthole a little bit, and just let's have some fun.
I'm kind of gotten to be the opposite since I've turned 50. Now I'm 51. My propensity for bullshit has waned greatly. I don't really care what most people think of me anymore, and I used to. I used to very much so, especially if I thought I was going to be a figure in the public eye and things like that. Because my friends always knew that, we could shoot the shit and cuss a little bit if we wanted to. I was never a sailor anyway, so it's not like I would never ran. But if I'm allowed to express myself, then I will express myself. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I can. And I also, again, I agree with you in the same way. It lets people's guards down. However, every once in a while, in some situations, I've done the same thing as you. I've kind of like let out a couple of bombs. Like, yeah, I don't really give a shit about this stuff, Yeah. And I can see the butthole tighten.
I do that too. I can be like,
you can sense it. You're like,
this person doesn't cuss.
Language is not for this person.
So it's a nice feeler. It lets me know who I'm dealing with, and it's my personality. Like I don't simply walk around looking for ways to insert nasty cuss words or whatever into a conversation, but that's how I speak. If you were to talk to me, I'm gonna fucking just put it out there and do what I do. And so for me to throttle, and my mom's like, I don't even think you know how to talk without cussing anymore. I'm like, okay, you can think what you want to, but I'm not. There's no reason for me to throttle just because you don't like it, Mom.
My emphasis is that I read a great article from someone who wrote for both Rolling Stone and New York Times, and it was an article about the importance of cussing, the importance of foul language. And a lot of it is that, look, we use language, and this is how I related to it as an artist, just as a human being. We use cuss words for emphasis.
Yeah.
Like I'm
it's
never
like
going to say, well, yeah, exactly.
It's spices.
You flavor some up, and you're doing it on purpose. You're not just throwing it out willy-nilly. You'd never throw salt in your coffee if you didn't want salt in your coffee. Correct. Right? But if you were looking to flavor something with salt, you would do so.
And when used properly,
it makes emphasis. I mean, again, sometimes you hear it and it's funny. That scene in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where Steve Martin's asking for 4 fucking wheels in a seat. I want it right fucking now,
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, no. And he's like, oh, no, what? She says, you're fucked. It's the funniest scene ever. It made me piss my pants the first time I saw it.
Wow.
Because it shows you the emphasis of, like, when we're venting, we get so pissed off that, yes, fuck is what we mean.
Yeah.
But I do think that, sometimes I use words and language in a foul manner on purpose to exercise my right to let them know that I may not be your person.
Yeah.
If my language offends you, then my content here on this table may not be your cup of tea either, because some of my subject matter is a little harsh, not foul per se, but I am looking to get reactions. And for myself, like what you were saying when speaking with certain tones and a certain language, to let people's guard down and let them know, hey, look, it's okay if you want to be yourself around me, because that's what people sometimes do. They cuss because they want to blurt it out, and that's part of their personality. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with saying fuck just to piss somebody off.
No.
You know, I think
don't use
that's
it
rude.
maliciously.
I mean, that's rude.
Yeah.
But if you're again, like you and I shooting the shit, that's one thing, and I can adjust my meter to crap and bull and gosh darn it.
I can try.
If I'm next to somebody.
I can try.
I hate to be told what to do anymore. I used to comply very much in my 20s, but not anymore.
Yeah, I think we're past the point of compliance. Like, we're just trying to make it to the end.
yeah. I met my financial advisor yesterday. My wife and I we had our annual meeting with this lady, and we always hate it because it's always like, so is JR going to get a job? Is he making any money?
Make you feel like shit.
Yeah, well, no, the funny thing, in the first several years, up until last year, I was actually doing well. I was actually gaining by 12 and 23% each year. So she couldn't say shit. Of course, in the last year and of course this year, they have dropped by at least 4%. And I track all this shit. And she's surprised I track all this shit. I'm like, well, because I know you're going to watch my shit, so I'm going to track all this shit. But she always makes Erica feel bad. But the woman has me dying at 70.
Oh, good gosh.
Yeah, she's like,
she's a death predictor.
She was like, she was like talking about our finances and our projection. We always think, we've always got plenty of time to do this or that dark. Well, I don't know how to do this yet, but I will. She projected. She was telling my wife, this is your plan for this, and this is your plan for this, and we've got JR. His policy will stop sometime between 70 and 80. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? Excuse me? I'm like, roll that back a little bit. I'm like, the policy stops? Or you're saying that the policy stops because my heart is stopped at that point? Yeah. And she sort of looks at me uncomfortably and goes, yeah. All right, now keep in mind, people, I am not 400 fucking pounds, all right?
No.
My arteries are not clogged with the food that I eat. There's no cheese dip.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. I'm just saying,
yourself.
like, but...
If you want to die fat,
I'm just saying, like, there is no obvious telltale sign, I'm not the picture of health either, right?
No.
But what she...
I mean, you only have two chins. I mean, that's...
yeah, you say only. My chins have chins. But what I'm saying is, like, I've known healthy people to die of heart problems.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter. Fucking car accidents will take you in a...
aneurysms, blood clots. I mean, we drive all the time. But what I'd realized is she's compounding my lifestyle. I'm gone 40 weeks out of the year. I'm driving all the time to these shows. And she's thinking I'm only eating the food that are at the shows, which we all know is hot dogs and, nachos and hamburgers, cheese. And basically heart-inducing killing stuff. She doesn't ask me if I've got a truck full of apples in my car, which I do,
Oh, dude,
but
by
she
the
had
way,
me dying at 70. I had to think about that. Like, I got 19 years on this bitch.
Let me put pause on this because there's another documentary that I haven't finished watching called The Game Changer.
Yeah.
About fruit.
You've seen it?
I watched the first half and then something came up and we had to pause it. But
how is
it's the Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of champion.
When he went vegan.
Well, it's talking. it's so far. I
Arnold.
haven't finished. It's pretty compelling as to how much health benefits you can come from a no meat diet. Like,
I think also the
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay.
And I love eating meat.
Well, I'm never going to stop eating meat. But he was saying that you don't need to go for meat to be your only source of protein for muscle enhancement.
Well, watch the documentary. Okay. But they took these athletes. There were like 2 or 3 athletes there, and they drew their blood. After they ate a normal meal, and 2 of them ate meat meal and the other one's a vegetarian. So they extracted their blood, put it in a centrifuge, and separated the plasma and all that shit.
Yeah.
And the actual plasma was translucent for the vegan guy, whereas it was cloudy for the guys that ate the meat.
Interesting.
And then, like, the next day, they all had a vegetarian or vegan dinner, and they pulled the blood out the same. All three were translucent.
So even after just one meal, the weightlifters who were
they were football players.
Okay.
But
Football.
it's what it was showing you is they had the same amount of proteins and stuff. It's just something in the animal fat or animal product that, even though it's just clouding up your... dude, it's crazy. You have to watch the doc. So I need to finish it, but Penny and I were watching that, and we're just like, holy shit. Because it was talking about how much better you're going to feel, and you're always... If you're a meat eater, that you're always processing the meat from the last meal, and you'll never... shit will never be clean. And I don't know what to believe, but I don't mind being healthier if I can feel better and less lethargic and stuff like that. So, and there's almost zero fat, and the documentary was explaining that the reason that we get all the protein and everything we do from the meat is because those fucking animals ate the grass and shit. And they're just we're just eating. We're getting it because they ate it.
We're eating their grass secondhand.
So they've already digested some of the cool shit.
And they taste really good.
Well,
look, I'm all for being healthy. I think that
I will never be 100%. Even if I do switch over, if you say, Brian, let's go get a fucking steak, we're going to have a fucking steak. But if I can change my Monday through Friday meals at home, and not have it be that big of a deal.
Well,
then
especially
I don't mind.
As we get older, because our metabolisms slow down, and I'm all for like being healthier as well. Because
I'm doing my walks.
We get
And
I
don't see much difference.
But you feel better, right?
No, I'm not noticing anything.
You're just plateauing. Then you just got to get to the next level.
I don't know
what I'm. Shake it up. You got to shake it up.
I just know that I'm doing it. So maybe my LDLs and HDLs are doing some cool shit, but I'm not noticing it. And granted, it's only 30 minutes of walking. It's not like I'm fucking...
You say only, but because the whole idea behind the whole diet craze of anything, whether it's diets or pills or whatever, it's because we have abused ourselves so much that we are now unhealthy. So we got to do something about it. And that's usually, balancing out. Oh, someone says, like, eat a salad and go for a walk, But the idea is... you physically moving, even for just those 30 minutes, it gets the endorphins moving in the body. It gets the lactic acids moving in the body, and you feel better.
I came up with a cool thing today when I was doing my morning walk. And I tried to figure out a way to turn it into like a motivational thing. So the parking lot that I walk in used to be the parking lot of a grocery store, and they've since torn down the grocery store. Mm-hmm. And they've barricaded the parking lot. So cars can't even get into the parking lot. So grass has begun to grow through the cracks in the asphalt and everything. And it looks like a soft, unkempt yard as opposed to a parking lot because there seems to be a lot more grass.
Sure.
Well, when I do my walk, I walk to a tree across the parking lot, and then I just walk back. And I just continuously go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until my 30-minute time. Well, today when I was walking, I could see the path that I had been walking. It had worn down, and not just in the grassy areas, on the blacktop itself. And so I was like, even though I'm not doing very much, as long as I'm doing the right thing and I'm continuously doing the right thing, you can make a path for yourself. So I was trying to somehow turn it into some sort of motivational, like
a metaphor for life.
Even though you don't feel like you're making that big a difference. You are making a difference. It's just a lot slower than you want it to be, but you're making a difference. So I can look right now, like we could drive by. It might be hard to see for you because you don't know where to look.
Well,
but if I point it out to you, you'd be like, oh yeah, I can see right there. You got to do like a little figure eight. Because I do have to dodge some patches of huge overgrowth.
Sure.
And you can see how my walking path. Dude, and I thought that was pretty cool.
I think it's great that you've been keeping it up because you know how hard it is as an adult to do anything new and to do anything out of your comfort zone, especially if it's uncomfortable physically at first. Well, yeah, no, that is again, you don't want to get out of your bed, you don't want to get off your couch. But this all says something to like why getting out of our comfort zone does improve us. Whether it's like, picking up a new trait or a new skill or something like that. In our case, it would be getting physical, to lose the weight, to be healthier. Anything is worth something, because if you just did 15 minutes a day, it would be something.
The thing that defeats most, the thing that prevents most success is the comfort zone. I think something to that effect.
Well, I think it's the comfort zone versus wanting to see immediate results. Because
no, I'm talking about in life. In life, I'm talking
about in life too.
If you just kept drawing the stuff you were comfortable with, you're never going to get to that, and you'll never know what the next level is because you're comfortable. So, yes, I do believe in comfort zone, but sometimes you have to just okay, well, this one time, let's try it and see what happens, and then increase the amount of times that you depart from your comfort zone. Yeah. So
I have found that for myself, what's worked is every time I find myself getting comfortable, that's usually when I get bored with myself and I end up picking up something. Now, fortunately for life, that's also like when in my art, cons have decided to stop buying the shit I was comfortable with. So I get pissed off and I'm forced to change.
The only part in life that I don't feel that is going to work is marriage. You can't stray from that comfort zone. No, but everything else you can pretty much.
But even marriages get comfortable and then complacent, and then they take their marriage for granted and they stop doing things.
Yeah, but I'm talking about cheating. I'm comfortable, so let's go put my dick somewhere else.
Oh, that's a whole other morality scale issue.
But be single and you don't have to worry about it.
Well, even being single, you could be single and still in a relationship with somebody.
Yeah,
I see. If you're in a relationship, obviously, this is a morality issue. If you're in a relationship, it's still work to maintain. Yes, a certain level of comfort and safety. I never have to worry about checking that box again.
Yeah.
But you also have to shake things up every now and then because, when you get bored in a relationship, people start thinking that, that's all there is. And maybe that's
my wife's pretty bored.
She's bored?
She's bored with my lack of wanting to leave my comfort zone. And I'm just hey.
You need to listen to Springsteen, dude.
Oh, yeah. Have we circled back to the Springsteen yet?
Not yet.
All right. What are you waiting for the end? Are you waiting for me to give me the cue?
No, I physically circled it down right now.
All right. Well, fucking lay on the Springsteen.
All right. Here's why I say Springsteen. All right. I'm a latent Springsteen fan. As far as I'm concerned,
that's
Born to Run. Never really. I could give a shit, because I was listening to Kiss and AC/DC when he was doing Born to Run.
What about Born in the USA? I was born in the USA.
That was the first time because I love 80s music and I love it, and that whole album is not only catchy, it's recorded well, it sounds great, and I didn't even like twangy guitar back in the 80s, but I couldn't ignore how good that songwriting was.
And it just everything about that album, because I remember my mom bought it.
Everybody bought that fucking album.
It just
people
felt
who weren't
powerful.
Bruce Springsteen's fans,
It just felt powerful and almost hey man, go make something yourself because you're gonna do it now.
Well, I will say that I've only seen Bruce Springsteen live once. That was in 2003 or 6, and it was a life-changing experience because because I'm looking at. You remember how you were just saying how the album Born in the USA made you feel?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a trait that Springsteen delivers almost all the time. Mm-hmm. Especially when you see him live, it is like a religious experience. You're going to rock and roll church, in that you will feel good about yourself, about being a better human being. You will also look at your faults and your foibles and say, okay, I'm not such a horrible person, but I am flawed, and his music says it's okay. Now, there's a lot of music of his that I find utterly boring and just get really tedious. But there are songs that I wish to God I wrote because they're so good. Every album has at least one song that is like Born in the USA
that
capable.
Speaks to you.
That speaks to the human experience.
To your human experience, because our experiences may be different.
Well, I would say the human experience, because everybody can interpret that song their own way.
Yeah.
What I look at is Bruce Springsteen is like my version, or my Shadows of Ourselves is my Bruce Springsteen moment.
Ah, okay. So you're the guy up front. Bruce Springsteen's your shadow?
Well, no. like The Shadows of Ourselves is my evangelical moment.
Oh, this is your Born in the USA album.
Exactly. So this is that moment where, like, when I listen to Springsteen, because I drive,
Damn, you are comparing your Shadows puppets.
No. I want to.
Shadow puppets to Born in the USA.
I'm saying, there are only a few bands that do what I've seen live and like stir me up. One is a band called Cowboy Mouth from New Orleans.
All right.
They will literally make you jump up every fucking song. They've got a couple of songs where they make
like
you get
ICP.
all the way down to the ground. Yeah, well.
I'm down with the clown.
It's one of those moments where you come back and you leave the show drained, but you feel pretty damn good about living.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, I say it's like an evangelical experience, even though I'm a spiritual person, but not a religious person. Not a church person.
I feel the same way. Like, there's got to be some other worldly shit going on.
Yeah.
But I don't need to go to church to fucking...
Yeah, but when you see someone like Prince or Bruce Springsteen, these guys... Every single show, they're putting it out there like it's their last show, their first and their last show. Well, very much so at our age. But that's how I always made in bands. When I was ever in a band, I did not perform music to sit down. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to be up and going, like going to AC/DC. AC/DC is just a fun fucking band.
Yeah.
You can't not tap your toe.
And now they've ruined it for me. Anytime I hear AC/DC, I immediately think of Iron Man.
See, I can't.
Like, I just think of this. Think of this cool moment of Iron Man saying, "Hey, motherfuckers, let's kick some ass."
I hate it. And
I like it for both reasons, though. But I like AC/DC more now that it's in my brain. It's tied to Iron Man.
I've always just loved performance bands, which is why that's what I'm trying to do at my table. It's why I'm always standing. I'm always trying to engage with people. I'm trying to get people to enjoy the experience of being at my table.
Yeah.
And that comes from being a performer and being a student of musicians that have done that, like Prince and Kiss and Maiden.
Now, how did we circle back around to this? Because this doesn't seem like we were talking about something. Like we're going to circle back. Like,
well, the human experience. This is what.
But when were we talking about that first? Like, I think you've just invented a circle.
We were talking about. I didn't know. I'm going to circle back around. We were talking about Trey Parker and Matt Stone, South Park.
All right.
Shines a light on ourselves.
All right. And then that immediately said
like
Shadow
Bruce
Puppets?
Springsteen. I was like Bruce Springsteen shines a light on ourselves. Good and bad.
Oh, okay. You went deep though.
Yeah. Well, I'm a deep diver, dude. I'm a deep man.
Philosophical.
I'm shallow, but I'm also deep.
All right. But that sounds like a homosexual thing, but whatever, man. Doesn't bother me.
It could be all my fat divots, in my body.
Divots.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Fat divots. Oh, did we talk about this last time? No.
Fat divots? No, we've never talked about it. That's the first time we put those two words together.
This is our first time talking since my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
I had a birthday.
I know you told me, but we didn't do it on air.
Oh, I was at your house on my birthday.
Fucking A. I was like, motherfucker, I didn't know it was your birthday.
Yeah. So, I ended up having to make my own cake because nobody made me an ice cream cake.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Did you specifically ask for an ice cream cake and no one did it?
I get it.
Or did they make you a cake and you were like, that ain't ice cream?
Just for clarification, every birthday up until last birthday, my mom has made me an ice cream cake because I can't eat regular cake because of my gluten intolerance, right? So she's always made me this custom ice cream cake that we made our own recipe for.
Damn.
And then sometimes, my daughter has made me one. And sometimes my wife has talked my daughter into making it, or like she hasn't ever made it. But between the three of them, I always had an ice cream cake. And this year I didn't get one. So I was like, what the fuck are you, like, what's going on?
Did you get anything?
Happy birthday.
Okay.
My wife ended up ordering me
a whole new show.
Yeah.
No, we're going to talk about this.
I don't want to get into it. My wife she's always, I don't remember. I didn't get it in time. She ordered something retroactively. So I should get it today. That it was ordered like 3 days after my birthday. Whatever. Okay. But my daughter didn't even say happy birthday to me.
That's some bullshit.
She did bring the grandson over and say, go tell Papa happy birthday. And he doesn't even speak. So she's like, she acknowledged that it was my birthday, but never said happy birthday, Dad.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Are you okay with your daughter?
Yeah, I guess she moved out.
Oh, okay. So you're definitely okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So my birthday went, right? And I got some nachos with my mom.
Okay.
But then we went to Killer Finds in Hiram.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked to them about you. Like I was doing your
bidding.
bidding.
About your birthday?
On my birthday, I was trying to square friends away. And I talked to them and they said, set up a date and come over there and come and meet JR, sell some books and stuff.
Well, damn, Bryan, thank you. But damn, you should be doing shit for yourself.
I was there and I'd already set it up. But I mean, so.
Happy birthday, by the way.
So just, so I will, if you want to, I can do it with you. Like the two of us can just go set up.
Absolutely.
Or you can have a day to yourself.
I'd rather have
I don't want to, because the last thing I want to do is act like this was for me, but I know sometimes it can be uncomfortable when you don't even know the people that are there.
You're the organic contact. And if they want me back by myself, they'll invite me back. But if this is also something that we can do ourselves, maybe we can even do a show there one day.
Yeah. Well, this, I think working with Killer Finds is going to benefit us because they have a lot of plans about doing events and things like that. Okay. And since we're local, and they like to showcase local stuff. Like they have artists work there that I've never don't do shows. Okay. They're like some guy painted a Venom and it's up on the wall as consignment. So if somebody wants to buy it. So they're encouraging a reach out to local artists and creators and stuff like that.
All right,
so
let's do it.
I will get with them, but I don't know what your availability is for weekends between now and Crema.
We'll get together. I got some. But I've got some. Explain to your listeners what Killer Finds is.
Killer Finds is a one-stop shop for nerd stuff. They have retro. Well, they're a little shopping center in Hiram, Georgia, and they have old school video games, new video games, comic books, old comic books, LPs, cassettes, LP players, cassette players, statues,
it's gonna be dangerous for me to walk into that room, dude.
They have like 4 cabinet games that are free to play, like Pac-Man and Street Fighter and stuff like that.
Put some serious coin down for that.
They have a nice thing going, and they have Dungeons and Dragons and.
So it sounds like they're like an old school one-stop shop for geekdom.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop for geekdom that feels like. It needs to be bigger, but I understand that they have to crawl. They have to
walk before you crawl.
Yeah,
or crawl before you walk. Oh shit! What do you think about that?
It's almost like an Amos. This motherfucker Amos says it's just like a bridge underwater, man. You're like, are you kidding me, Amos? It's just like a bridge underwater. What are you talking about?
That's a great saying.
Yeah,
it's useless, right? Useless.
So
a bridge underwater. Useless.
So I talked to them. So we're gonna set that up. Those guys are really good. I think I was gonna talk about something that was related. Have you seen? You saw Terminator?
Yeah.
Did you like it? I still haven't seen it.
I fucking loved it.
God dang! I need to go see.
I loved
Amos
it.
just emailed me and said, or texted me and said, "Hey man, you want to go?" Like he's. I don't know if it's another one of those. Hey, you want to pay for your own way?
Yeah, well,
but he's talking about he still hasn't seen it either. Because I still haven't seen Rambo or the Terminator.
Oh, I haven't seen the Rambo one either. Well, the Terminator, I was pleasantly surprised. I won't give anything away, but I will tell everybody if you've been watching every Terminator hoping for T2, that will never be.
No.
Any more than you'll see Aliens and Alien 1 ever again. You'll never see that again. But if you want to go into the world of Alien or the world of Terminator or whatever, or the world of, say, Star Wars, you will not be disappointed in this world because they bring up some new shit.
Yeah, but
they harken it back to the old shit, and Arnold's just as good as ever.
I imagine. You know? Like I expect it to be good, but here's the thing: nobody went to the movie theater to see it.
I know.
And I think they've just been burned so many times.
Yeah, they have. Well, and they've been disappointed. Now, I will say I haven't not liked any of the Terminators, but Terminator 3, and even then I liked Arnold in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. This is a new take, but this has. James Cameron produced. James Cameron wrote the script. So keep in mind, people, this is as close to Terminator 3 that you're ever fucking gonna get with James Cameron. All right. Yeah. So this is the movie he intended to follow up. You know, that in that case, I loved it. I'm fine with it.
Sweet. I mean, I really do want to go see it. But also on my birthday, there was a movie that came out.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. Undercover Brother 2.
Oh,
Have you not watched this movie?
You know what? I've never watched the movie either or, but I did see one scene recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
I was ever at my buddy's house, and it wasn't his birthday.
I actually made a
birthday
thumbnail.
that day.
I actually made the thumbnail. If you go towards the end of the movie,
one of that face you make.
Dude, I wanted to do it so bad. The silverback face. Ooh. Oh, I went to go get my driver's license yesterday.
Wait, well, let's explain to people. You are in Undercover Brother 2.
Yes, I play one of the henchmen.
And we're talking about this scene. It is pretty fucking great.
It's about 12 minutes in where the racist mastermind is giving us his plan, and his homosexual son comes out and displays 2 outfits, and we're supposed to act like, what's this gay kid doing? Like, so that's the
because
look,
the Barry Bostwick father's like talking about how we need to get rid of the homosexuals next.
Yeah, he's in denial about his son being homosexual.
And the face you make, it's all like, boss.
Yeah,
that face you make is fucking. It's great.
So, but actually later in the movie, there's another scene towards the end. If you go into the, you know how in Netflix you can scroll every, and it'll give you those little thumbnails.
Yeah.
My picture is one of the thumbnails
That's fantastic.
that it scrolls to. That's hilarious. So what's the next con? How are you closing out your year for conventions, man?
I've got a few next. I'm ending this year with Yamacon. I always end my year with Yamacon because
and Pigeon Forge,
Tennessee, and the guys Tim Chandler and Charlie Aiken who always get me into that show. They just treat me really well. It's under new management now since last year, and Pigeon Forge is a great place to eat pancakes and have some fudge and shop for Christmas. Get some home cooked meals out there. But I just like the feel of it. It's Christmas time in the mountains. I'm at an anime show. I know a shit ton of vendors and fans out there. So it's really just a hangout con. I was pissed off last year because I had gone to that show and I have a problem with barnacles. That show is one of the worst barnacle experiences ever, but I've learned to just embrace it, sometimes because
you just have to grow it's hard to say, hey, what's hard is when a barnacle is interacting with you and you see like someone trying to get your attention behind them.
Yeah.
You just have to say, hey man, hold on 1 second. How can I help you? Yeah. Like that's a tough thing to do.
It is tough because you feel rude to both parties, but I feel now that I've been to Yamacon so long that now anybody there who knows me knows they can wait. And I also kind of treat them like family. Right? Hey, shut the fuck up. I'm going to talk to this guy real quick.
Yeah.
So, but that's how I'm ending this year. I've got a few more shows left in the tank. But I'm hoping to end this year with my Kickstarter.
Oh, is the Shadow stuff making a Kickstarter?
I talked to Book Logics yesterday. Mm-hmm. All right. And drove out to Alpharetta, and we had a 2-hour meeting. I showed them a lot of my originals, and I discussed to them my plan to put out a special book. Mm-hmm. And they're going to get back to me with pricing so that I know exactly what to set the Kickstarter for. Are
you working with anybody to help put together the Kickstarter? Because, and I know this sounds weird, but there's an efficient way of putting together a Kickstarter before you even launch. Like, do you have all your tiers? Do you have are you working with anyone that has?
I've done Kickstarter several times before. And what I've realized is, out of studying all of the Kickstarters, I'm mostly working with Book Logic on the design of the book. Mm-hmm. But for the Kickstarter is going to be really simple.
It's buy a book or not. Like, there's not a lot of frills.
Well, I mean, the only tiers there will be like a paperback version. There'll be the hardcover version. I might combine the two as a set because each one's going to have a different cover, but the content's going to be the same. And after that, it's just going to be like, do you want this book and Silver Linings, or this book and Stuck in My Head, this book and an original? That's it.
The new way to do that, or the way that I've seen people do it on Kickstarter, is, let's say I have a hardback option tier, softback option tier, and a both tier, and a personalized tier. Like, those are my 4 tiers. But you also want to move those products that you're talking about. Right. So you do those things as what's called add-ons.
Yeah. Yeah, I've already done.
Where you don't actually make a tier for it. You just say add $25 to your pledge. Right. and you can get this.
The other thing,
I hadn't done that in the past.
Well, the other thing they recommend, I've done that before in the last ones. I've had all of my campaigns have been successful, fortunately, but I also go for a very low.
I set the bar pretty low to make sure that it gets funded.
And I'm also thinking about not doing Kickstarter. I'm thinking about doing Indiegogo. Because I always did Kickstarter because Kickstarter is the #1 crowdfunding source. Everybody knows it. People go, oh, Kickstarter must be real. But several heavy hitter indie guys have been using Indiegogo because they set their bars low. And what happens is, if for some reason, say they set their bar at $400 and they make $399, Kickstarter kills your campaign. You don't get it. For Indiegogo, if you set it at $400 and you only make $350, you still get the $350, which means all you've got to do if you really want to get the thing done is pony up $50 yourself. Yeah. Which people could pad themselves on Kickstarter too. But what tends to happen on Kickstarter is people set a $10,000 limit and they make $200 because they don't know their market. I'm going to make this really simple. I'm hoping that BookLogic gets back to me with a price that people can afford, because I'm going to do a paperback version. And I'm going to do the hardcover version. But this hardcover is going to be the way I've always wanted to do an art book. It's going to be an art book. And,
like a coffee table book.
And that won't be cheap. So I'm going to, whatever that is going to be,
it's
going to be a bitch to ship, and it's going to be a bitch to put together. They have to physically hand stitch the book.
Yeah, well, you've only got a couple of years left. So you might as well go ahead and get it done.
I got 19 fucking years left on this world.
You need to go ahead and get that dream project done.
Well, they seem to, in looking at the content, they seem to think that this book will take off. I told them.
BookLogic has, they're like, dude, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God.
Oh, you walked out of there with a boner.
No, I didn't. Because I had to tell them, like, ladies, this will be my 5th crowdfunding thing. So, no, every one of them I've done before, I always thought this would be my nut. This would be the one that'll take me to the next level. This would be my tipping point. Every single one of them died after the Kickstarter.
Yeah, but this is your fucking Born in the USA, sir.
Yeah, but I have no Born in the USA contacts. You need contacts and luck, and I don't have either one of those. I have the Bryan SilverBax podcast, of course. I have ways to market, but I have 62 hardcore fans in that. Like, these people will buy anything that I do, so I at least know that 62 books will sell.
Right on, man.
I know that for a fact, so that's good.
So let's keep up with. Let's keep this up. We'll talk more before that.
Yeah. Well, when I know more, I'm gonna.
In the meantime, check out that Disney Plus shit. I'm gonna show you some secret shit on there.
Yeah, because I saw that list. I saw an ad for them last night on 2020. They did a whole thing about Disney.
10 million subscribers in one fucking day.
Yeah, get this. They think they're going to hit 90 million within 5 years. They think they're going to get 90 million subscribers within 5 years.
I don't doubt it. I mean,
look, the content is as good as it looks. I mean,
it's all your Disney, it's all your Marvel, it's all your Star Wars. That's all you really need.
Keep in mind, that is also a lot of Disney Channel television. Too. So you're going to have Saved by the fucking Bell and Screech and all that bullshit too.
Hannah Montana's all over it.
So it's not all going to be Star Wars and Marvel.
No, but there's an audience for all that shit.
But being that it's a streaming service like Netflix, you can choose the things you want to watch. It's not like the Disney Channel where you're just waiting to 6 o'clock Spider-Man's on. No, you can just fucking choose Spider-Man. So
yeah, you can.
I'm all for that.
And they got some original shit we're checking out, like The Mandalorian.
Why don't we have a porn streaming channel?
I'm sure there is.
X-Nookie. Yes, come to the Nookie channel.
I thought that's what Pornhub was. I don't know. I just, like I said, magic movies is all I do. All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Continue to share. Well, continue. How about you start sharing?
Start sharing. No, Brent Johnson, thank you, as always.
He loves how much you talk about his name.
Well, I feel now that I'm compelled to mention his name every time.
But
I thought it was only 1 or 2 episodes, but he feels like we're getting
Thank you guys for listening. Please share. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends. Please write in topics that you want us to talk about.
Wish Bryan a happy birthday, even if it's belated. Get him an ice cream cake. You know, come on.
I put the rest. I took a picture, and I said, "Hey, here's what I took to make it. You can make one for yourself." So thank you guys. Continue to be good people, and as always, stay creative.
It's almost